So in this part 2, we're still going to be working with those vertical, complementary, and supplementary angles, but we're going to see that the pictures are maybe a little bit trickier and we really just have to focus on one thing at a time. So in this first picture, I have this kind of star pattern with 3 intersecting lines. So I'm going to start out, whenever I have vertical angles, that's the easiest. So I'm going to look at these 2 intersecting lines and notice that 52 and D are actually vertical. So I know that D is also 52 degrees. Then I also notice that if I look at this intersecting line with that one, that 77 and E are also vertical angles, so E is 77 degrees. Now I don't know the vertical angle that goes with F, but once I have those other angles, I'm actually going to go with this line here. If this is 77 and D is 52 degrees, and this black line is a straight line, that means what F needs to be whatever's left to make up 180, because this whole angle is 180. So I'm going to add up the 77 and the 52, and that's going to give me 129 degrees. And then I'm going to need to subtract that from 180 to see what I have left for that remaining angle, which is represented by the letter F. So if I do 180 minus 129, that gives me 51 degrees. So F, this missing angle, should add up to 180 with the other 2, is 51 degrees. So in Delta Math, you'll have 3 different spots. Sorry about that. 3 different spots to enter these values in little text boxes. So looking at our next picture, and basically on Delta Math, I give you one of each of these. So I'm going to show you all the pictures, and then you just have to get one right of each of these types of pictures. So first off, I'm going to go in order. I could find E pretty easily because that's a vertical angle, but here I notice that I have perpendicular lines. So this angle is 90, and this angle over here is also 90 degrees because these 2 add up to 180. So angle D is 90, and I can see that right angle. I could also do 180 minus the other 90, and that would give me 90 degrees. Looking at this top portion, we have the intersecting lines. We see that E is vertical with this 46, so we know that E is also 46 degrees because vertical angles are equal. And now I'm going to look at this straight line, and actually, you know what? Either way will work. We'll go with this. We could have also used the 46 we already had. So this is 46 here. So we know F and this 46 where E is have to add up to 180 because they're in a straight line. So 180 minus 46 is going to give us 134 degrees. So that would be the measure of angle F. So here are my 3 angles for that picture. So our next picture has these 2 sets of intersecting lines, so we'll just work on one of each of them first. So looking at my first ones, if I draw these 2 intersecting lines, I can tell that angle G also has to be 115 because it's vertical with this angle that is 115, and then H is on a straight line with G. And when I say you have 2 ways to do it, you also could have used this straight line with the 115 that's already there. Either way, you know what, maybe we'll go with this one since I just drew that in last. These 2 add up to 180, so to find angle H, I do 180 minus 115. So that gives me 65 degrees for angle H. So far we have that G is 115, H is 65, and we're going to be doing something in the next lesson where we talk about something called transversals with parallel lines. There are no parallel lines in this picture, so this section down here is almost like its own problem. It's not connected with the top. So looking at this, I see that K is vertical with the 131, so K equals 131 degrees. And then if I look at this straight line, I see that M and the 131 add up to 180, so I do 180 minus 131. And I get that angle M is going to be 49 degrees. Okay, so those are your 4 angles for that one. Moving over to the next one, we have this straight line and 3 angles on it. Now we see one of them is 50, one of them is 90, and then we have to find the A. So basically, I've used up 50 and 90, so let's add those two up. So I've used up 140 of my 180 total for this straight line, so I'm going to do 180 minus 140, and that leaves me with 40 for angle A. So A equals 40 degrees. Last two pictures. I kind of think that this one is the trickiest one of all the 6 possible pictures, because you have this weird angle, and when they're asking for angle Y, they're actually asking for this whole angle here. So basically the right angle plus whatever that little piece is. But I'm actually going to start on the other side. So since I have a right angle here, I know that this side is also a right angle. Okay, so these 2 right angles make up a straight line. Now using that piece, and I'll trace it, this right angle, I know that X is going to be 90 minus 61, right? Because we're figuring out what's left of that 90 degrees. So angle X equals 29. Now if X is 29, now I'm going to look and notice that there's vertical angles this way. Okay, and if at any point I go too fast, remember you can always rewatch parts of these videos or pause or anything like that. So that means this angle over here, vertical from angle X, is also 29 degrees. Okay, so right now, and I don't have a lot of colors left, I'll do this in yellow. I have a yellow. I'm working on finding this angle Y, which remember, if you look at the red, is the whole way across. So I have the 29, and then also from the very beginning, this angle in here was 90 degrees because of that little, corner that was drawn in. So to get the whole angle Y, I'm going to add together the 90 and the 29, and that's going to give me 119 degrees for angle Y. This last picture I actually don't think is quite as hard as the last one. We basically have a picture where they're showing me here that these 2 lines are perpendicular or form the 90-degree angles. I can see that right here. So first off, and then I have another right angle in here. So I'm going to start out with this one and find angle X. So here we already have a 57, so we're going to do 90 minus 57 to find that missing angle, which is going to give me 33 for the X. And now we're going to move over here. And there's a couple ways you could do this one. I'm going to use it this way. Move over here. And this blue angle, I just found out that this was 33. Because of these perpendicular lines, this whole piece here is also a right angle. So to find angle Y, I can do 90 minus 33, which is going to give me basically back what I had subtracted in the first place, because it's the opposite subtraction. I'm subtracting what I had just found. So this is going to tell me the angle Y equals 57. So as I said, those are your 6 different types of problems. I assigned one of each type for you. If you mess it up, you'll get another one of that same type, but you need to go through one of each of those for the end of the assignment.